Welcome to another episode of Nintendo Ninja News, and we are talking about Tomoaki Anaki, and I hope I have his name said right. I'll be learning a lot of Japanese names in the next few days, actually. And he's the creator of Devil's Third, and that's the game that we'll be talking about today. We know and we've seen a lot of dramas and issues about this game, and I've had mixed thoughts about Devil's Third. That's coming to the Wii U. It's been confirmed coming in the fourth quarter in North America. I believe that's possibly the same time frame for Europe and Australia, and that's been it was interesting with the whole release date of that, because we weren't sure if Nintendo was going to publish it or not. They went a little bit quiet, Nintendo of America, and now after some of their fans complained that there was rumours that they weren't going to publish it, it looks like it will be. And it will also be on the PC, a multiplayer version of it. Now, we wanted to talk about Devil's Third because it's been in the news quite a bit. There's a few issues about the game that we'll have a chat about. As you know, it's an upcoming action-adventure hack-and-slash shooter video game by this man who's creating it. And I've looked at a few trailers of it, and I think my initial reactions, I think to everyone else, was that the graphics were not particularly polished, and some of the gameplay was a little bit odd at times, and I wasn't too sure about the game. I think the word was I was definitely intrigued looking at it. It looks very different to anything else that I've seen on the Wii U. There's a lack of third-party content on the Wii U, so I think this will be a great addition to the Wii U's library. Now, a lot of people complaining about the graphics and things like that, and I have a little bit in the past, but looking at one of the latest trailers that came out that I believe that Nintendo put together, looks very promising. Now, let's have a look at the history of the game and probably try and understand why the game looks like it does now. Now, this game was had a few issues with switching the game engines. Now, we're just looking at the Wikipedia page here, just to give us a bit of a help about things. And it says that it switched engines during its dev period, as the company responsible for making the original engine closed down. Since that time, Valhalla Game Studios have continued dev work during an adaptation of video game developer Riso Entertainment's engine. However, overall, a version of Devil's Third for the Wii U was not confirmed at the time. It was reported that the game would run perfectly fine on the system. Devil's Third then used the same game engine as Darksiders 2. Now, to be honest, I was not a fan of Darksiders 2. I didn't really complain about the graphics in that game. I just felt like the gameplay was really shitty and wasn't very good. It wasn't to my taste. But who knows, there might be a lot of people that enjoy that game. It now uses Unreal Engine 3 as the main game engine. Now, this was actually going to be originally released on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. However, THQ, the game studio that we know of, closed down in 2013. And the property rights to Devil's Third was given back to Valhalla Game Studios, and Nintendo picked up the publishing duties for the title to be released for the home console. It was eventually announced at last year's E3 presentation. So you might look at the game and see the graphics and see that there's a few little issues here and there. And I think to look at the dev problems that they've had over the past few years, you'll probably come to understand why the game doesn't look like in tip-top shape. Is it going to run like like a first-party Nintendo game. Well, I don't think it will. And I can understand why there's been issues with the game and why it probably doesn't look as polished as some of the others is because it's had a lot of issues just trying to get this game completed. And they've had issues and problems which have been out of their control. And I think that's been particularly tough on them, on the team. So for me, I guess if I ever reviewed the game or anything like that, I would probably take that into consideration. That there's been issues with the game that's been beyond their control. Now, it doesn't mean that they're allowed to release a game that is absolutely crap and that no one would buy. But I think there has to be some sort of understanding as to some of the issues that Devil's Third has had. And just putting that into context and to understand that. And I think a lot of people are not really understanding that point. Now, I looked at the latest trailer, and I think it looks like a really fun game. And I think the cool thing is that it would probably pass the Satoru Iwata's, test of, does this game look fun to play? I don't think it really does. We've seen lots of generic shooters and we've seen a little bit of hack and slash with Hyrule Warriors, but this sort of merges a lot of the stuff together. I really like the idea of you go around shooting, you're sliding and jumping on things. You're particularly active in this game. And sadly, I would like to play a preview of the game, but obviously we can't until it's released. But I'm actually very happy with the way that the game has looked. And I don't mind graphics. Like we wouldn't, because we're Nintendo fans, we know that we don't get the high-powered consoles of PlayStations and Xboxes. So we look more for gameplay and, is it fun to play? Is it interesting? Is it innovative and different? I think that Devil's Third does try to achieve some of the objectives of a Nintendo game. Is it fun? Is it innovative? Is it different? And I think that's something that the dev creator has been trying to do with this title. And what I believe is you just need to judge the game when it's released. Watch some trailers and things like that, and sort of wait for it when it comes out, and get some feedback from people, from friends and others who have actually played the game when it comes out. I'm looking forward to it because it's really different from any other Wii U games. We have a lot of platformer games on the Wii U and a couple shoot 'em up games and hack and slashes, but nothing like Devil's Third that we've seen. And I'm quite optimistic about it. I'm keeping positive about it because of the way that they're trying to do this game. They're trying to do something different. And I do like the idea of the innovations and the different things that they're going to do. And apparently it's going to be a hard game, which I'm not particularly great at hard games, but I know that will be a great challenge for many fans of this man's work, and for Nintendo fans who are looking for something to really sink their teeth into, and a bit of a fun game to have. So it'd be interesting to hear people's thoughts on Devil's Third. I've outlined why people should have a bit of a think about why Devil's Third may look a little different from the other games because of the dev issues that they've had over the years. And it'll be very interesting to see what this game will be like when it comes out. Another point too that I wanted to say was I think it's great that this guy who has created this game is quite active on Facebook, and he interacts with his fans and the people who are willing to buy the game. And that's nothing that I've never seen anyone do. And I think that's a really fantastic thing that I've seen. Another point too was interesting that he felt that the Pro Controller would be a better option. I will agree that using the gamepad over an extended period of time, we're talking about 3-4 hours straight, does become a little difficult with the gamepad. does become heavier over time, and the Pro Controller is a fantastic option. There's also a suggestion to use a USB keyboard. I've never used a USB keyboard on the Wii U or the Wii, so that'll be interesting to use, and I'm not too sure what model keyboards would be compatible with that, but I would say any USB ones. I've only got a Bluetooth one that I use, so I wouldn't think that would be useful on the Wii U, sadly. So that is all I have to say on Devil's Third, but don't judge a book by its cover. Have a play of it. Play it at a friend's place. Look at some actual gameplay footage that people are playing. They probably have some particularly good skills. And then we'll see what Devil's Third is like when it's released. So we'll see what it's all about when it comes out. I'll see you later on.